Hi there, everyone. Thanks for hopping on with me if you can. If you do hop on with me, let me know where you're watching from. My name is Mindy, and I'm going to be just putting on some makeup, getting ready to go out somewhere. Today is my 69th birthday. Happy birthday to me. My hubby's going to take me out for dinner, and so I'm just putting on my makeup, and I thought I would come on and just do it live. So if you hop on, like I said, let me know where you are watching from. I did my skincare already, and I put my brows on because they take a little while, and my eyelids are always really red, so I put my little concealer, my brightening highlight on it, and covered it with a little bit of finishing powder. So I have a nice base for my eyes. We are going to do eyes first. And I'm using Seint Beauty makeup. If you're not familiar with it, it's customized. It comes in these little tins like this. You pop them into whatever compact that you decide you want. This is the top and this is the bottom. I keep my creams in the top, my bottoms in the, my eyeshadows in the bottom layer. And we're gonna start with my eyes. So let's see. Gonna just start with a little bit of a lavender. I'm going with a little lavender look today. So this one is called, this eyeshadow is called London. And that's what I'm gonna start with. It's just kind of a very light lavender color. I'm gonna use that kind of as my transition, and it is just gonna go kind of all over my eyes. I'm gonna get it up a little bit higher because I have some hooded eyes. And yeah, here we go. That one is on. Let me go to the other side. Yes, our eyeshadows, our makeup is cream, but our eyeshadows are, most of them, we have over 100 different eyeshadow shades, and most of them are powder. There are only 4 of them that are cream. So most of them are powder eyeshadows, and they are very, very pigmented. So you don't need a lot. And you guys, if you know me at all, if you've followed me at all, you know that I have allergies really bad. And I always have to do this because my nose just runs. I don't know. It only started a few years ago when we adopted a little stray cat. And I've had 3 cats in my lifetime, and they were all just, they lived to be about 19 years old. We loved them dearly. Now I'm gonna go with a little darker lavender shade on the outside of my eye. This one is called Midnight. Yeah, so we had all of our cats and loved them dearly, never had any allergy problems whatsoever until we brought this other little kitty. We adopted him. He was a stray, and we adopted him, brought him home, and oh my goodness, he shed like crazy. So I developed allergies when he came to be with us. We don't even have him anymore. We had him for several years, and then we had to put him down. So, but yeah, but the allergy stayed. That's all right. I wouldn't give up my time with having him at all. Okay, so I have hooded eyes, and so I have to kind of tweak my eyeshadow just a little bit for mature eyes, hooded eyes, okay? And there we go. And then I'm going to use a little bit of a shimmer on my lid. This one is called, let me make sure, this one is called Soulmate. It's a pretty pinkish, peach colored shimmer, And I'm just going to put that right here in the center on my lid. And it's light, so that part of my lid is going to come forward and be more pronounced. And where it's darker on the outside, that recedes a little bit. So now I have some depth in my eyes. Okay. And gonna just put a little dab of drift in my inner corner and right here underneath my brow bone. Just so my eyes are woken up a little bit. And then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to give it a good another last little blend so that everything is blended nicely and I don't have like any sharp lines. Okay. Eyes are pretty much done. And now I'm going to go on to my face and I'm going to start, I think I'm actually going to start with a bronzer. Like to do that. Actually, I'm going to change my mind here. I am a little bit red through here. So before I do anything, I'm going to color correct just a little bit. And this is a 3D cream foundation color called Sandy. And it's just a little warmer. I look a little orange now, right? That is the way it is supposed to work, because that redness has a little bit of blue undertone in the skin. And opposite the color wheel, orange is opposite blue. So let's make sure, I'm going to flip it over to this end here. I always have a couple little spots here where they're just a little bit dark. Over here on my cheeks, I have some scarring. And just now, I'm noticing with the scarring that in the midst of that scarring, just here and there, kind of scattered here and there, I have a little bit of dark spots. Okay, so I'm putting this on, and you're thinking, why is she putting something dark when she has dark spots? Shouldn't you put something light on it? You have to go to the depth of that darkness in order to cover it, all right? And then you can lightly lighten over it. Now you're probably thinking, but that's like different layers. You use such a tiny, tiny, tiny amount. I'm literally taking my brush like this and tapping. That's like all that's on my brush, just that little tiny bit. So you don't have a lot of cakiness on your skin, especially when you get to be my age and you have lines and wrinkles like I do. I have a lot of lines and wrinkles. And if you have a makeup that is cream and you put too much cream, let me move this a little bit. You put too much cream on your face, it's gonna move around and it's gonna end up settling into those fine lines and wrinkles. We don't want that. So you put a very, very minimal amount of this cream makeup on. That's why these tins, this is my bronzer that I'm using. It's called Bella Bronzer. You can see this is almost 2 years old. It's very used, but there's still a lot in that tin to be used. But they last a very long time. So the makeup is beautiful for mature skin. and it's very affordable. I started using it about 3 years ago when I was using my liquid makeup, and I don't know, I just kept saying it just isn't doing anything for me anymore. It just isn't. I put my liquid makeup on and it looked great for about the first 2 hours or so. And then as it started to kind of dry a little bit, that's when it would start to kind of settle into the fine lines and wrinkles. So I happened to be watching someone online that I followed, and she was putting on this cream makeup. And I'm like, what the heck is she? What is this? Watched a little more, followed her for quite a while. I decided to get a color match from her. And the rest is history. I got my makeup, she color matched me perfectly, and got my makeup, started wearing it, and I literally fell in love with it. And loved it so much that I became an artist, okay? I've been an artist a little over 2 years. In this coming July 2024, it will be 3 years as an artist. Okay, so I started with some bronzer. I am gonna do a little bit of contour. My contour that I'm using is called Astoria. And I'm just gonna do a little bit here. Since I already have some bronzer on, don't need to do very much. Now, I have more than 3 fingers on my forehead, so it's kind of wide, high I should say. And so I'm contouring up here because I just want a shadow. And that's all that the contouring is a shadow. It creates a shadow which helps to give your face some dimension. I'm going to carve out my jawline here. Bring this down my neck. I've got the jowl thing going on here. So I'm going to put something dark on it because dark makes things recede. Turkey neck and jowls, right? Okay, now my nose. My nose is a little more wide than I want it to be. So I'm just using my little detail brush. This brush is wonderful. Got a little flat top. If I turn it like this, it's kind of oval. You can squish it together to make a line. You can also just take this brush and tap it like this on the side, which will give you a line. And I'm just going down like the top part of my nose. And I'm going to flick this up into my brow area and just kind of blend that out a little bit, leaving that little tiny spot in the middle because I'm going to put something light on there to make the bridge of my nose come forward. And I'm going here with dark because my lips are thinning. So if I put a shadow here, it makes my bottom lip look a little more full than it really is. Okay, I'm going to take this little brush. It's called a multitasker brush, double-ended. This end is just a tiny, tiny little, I don't know if you can see it there. Put on something dark. Yeah, tiny little end. And this one is flat and it's great for laying something on, or it's a little more stiff. So I'm going to take my brightening highlight that I have. This is called Aura. And I'm just going down here, center of my nose. I will blend that out in a minute. Let's brighten the rest. Okay, so I put my bronzer on, then this is my contour. I'm going to brighten now the rest. Same color, this is my little brush, and it's the same color that I just put right here. And I'm going to just brighten the center of my face. And this is why I like to do my eyes first, because if you came down a little bit too far on the outside there with your eyeshadow, you can clean it up. And I'm just bringing this down like so on either side of my nose. And brightening the center here, my Cupid's bow and my chin, and this part of my face right here. Okay, that's brightening. Where I don't have any contour or any brightening, that's where I'm going to put my main highlight on. That's the one that matches my skin tone. It's right here. It's called Aura. And by the way, the brightener that I used was called, the brightener was called Aura, and my main that matches my skin tone is called Athens. And that's what I'm going to put on now. I tapped it twice. And I'm using the same brush that I did for my contour. That just goes to show you that you use such a tiny amount. And I'm just kind of popping it on here a little bit, just kind of stippling a little bit. I tapped it one more time and one more time flat, and that's going to be it. Okay, so I have my contour on, I have my brightener on, and I have my main on. And now it's just a question of we're going to blend. Put a little bit of Stay Spray in my hand here, and I'm going to dip this brush into it, and that's going to help it a little bit to spread a little bit, and also it's going to keep it on. It is 3:36 here in Northwest Indiana. That is Central Time. We're going to go out here in just a little bit. As I said, today is my birthday. I am 69 today. I would have never dreamed I would be doing this at 69. But I thoroughly enjoy it. It keeps me busy doing what I love to do. I love makeup. I love helping other women. So many of you are like, I have no clue how to put makeup on. I don't know how to do it. And so we have a little teaching session, and they are just absolutely tickled when we're done. They look so pretty. They are just, oh my goodness. And that's very rewarding. I'm just plopping this all over my face because this little perfector sponge is dampened. And if I had put this on a little too heavy, remember, we don't want cream sitting on our face that if it doesn't need to be on there. And it's going to pick up anything extra that's just sitting there on my face. Okay, let's put a little bit of color on. Now, I already put some on my lips. I'm using these two colors on my lips. This is Plum and this is Petal. So I started with the Plum. I put the Petal on top of it and just really lightened it up some. But I'm going to use the Plum over here on my cheeks. Kind of swirl it a little bit. Let's see, do I need this a little darker? Maybe. Put a little bit more on my lips here. And I think I'm going to take a little dab of my eyeshadow that I used up here. That's just going to go in the center of my lips, just for kind of a little ombre effect. Let me put a little dab more up here so I get my nice little shine. And the only thing left is I'm going to use a little bit of Illuminator on my cheeks. So I have a little shine there on my cheeks. And it's going to make my top of my cheekbones come out a little bit more. Same thing with my nose again. I'm going to put a little dab right here. It's going to help that to come forward. And a little bit right here on my Cupid's bow. Let's see, do I need any more? I may put a little dab more blush on. And we have so many colors. I could put like more of a pink over this if I wanted to. There we go. I'm done, you guys. That is my look that I'm going for today, going out with hubby. He's going to take me out. I have to decide where I want to go for dinner. He says, I'll take you anywhere you want to go. So I'm not sure. It's either going to be a steakhouse or it's going to be sushi. I love sushi. So here you go, guys. If you're not familiar, again, this is Seint makeup. This is my little compact that I used. Everything in here I put on my face, and I used 4 of these colors on my eyes. There we go. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. If there's anything you want to know, just drop me a message, okay? I'll see you on the next one at Mindy Over 50 on YouTube. Bye now.